Today I'm going to be simulating raising the most dangerous pet yet. One that could technically steal my soul or at least haunt my fridge. I'm going to be vlogging my experience of raising a tiny Gastly all the way to a full-grown Gengar. I'll be testing its feeding habits, building a haunted habitat for it to live in, and seeing if a ghost can actually be a man's best friend. It all starts with this egg. Well, it's not exactly a normal egg, it's more of a dark, shadowy, egg-shaped thing. It's ice cold to the touch, and it feels like it's sucking up all the light in the room. After keeping it in the tank for a few days, the shell didn't break, but evaporated into a purple mist. And out of that mist came our new baby, Gastly. He's mostly just a floating dark cold ball of gas with two massive glowing eyes. But he's cute in his own dark ghost way. He looks completely harmless, but you will know when he's in the room as the temperature can lower down to -6 degrees Celsius. The issue right now is that while he is still a baby, he already has a mind of his own. I'll be trying to record me cleaning his tank and he'll sneak up and scare me. Last night I woke up to him hovering just above my face. He wasn't going to attack me, he was just watching me. He's generally a sweetheart, but sometimes he can be a total creep. To help him get more comfortable, I'm going to be building him a proper living place with a haunted theme. I covered the bottom in black sand to make it look like a void and added a nice reflection to Gastly's purple glow. On one side, I'll add a miniature tombstone and some rocks. The perfect place for him to hide and haunt. I'll also include a stone water bowl, not for drinking, but he loves to hang out on the water. In the middle, I built a stone well. Now it really feels like a home for a ghost. I'm sure he'll love it. You can already see him playing in the graveyard area. I hope he'll scare me less now. The next day, I decided we should go out of the house to see how the young Gastly handles the outside world. The bad idea was going out at midday. The sun was shining and Gastly didn't like it one bit. He kept hiding in the shadows of any objects he could find. I'm gonna have to rethink this. We went back home and he immediately went in his tank, hiding in his usual spot. I'll let him rest for now. As the night came near, I decided we'll give it one more shot. Now that it's dark outside, Gastly should have no problems with going out. And I was right. He absolutely loved it at night. He even had a cute little moment with a cat we saw. We turned to a more woody area and Gastly started to explore around. He seemed to really enjoy the woods at night. And as he went deeper into the woods, he sensed something else was there. It was a caterpie sitting on a branch. The caterpie attacked with a tackle, but Gastly had no problem dodging it. As the caterpie was turning around, Gastly used Confuse Ray, sending the caterpie into confusion. As the bug was lying on the ground unable to move, Gastly finished it off with a spooky lick, sending the caterpie flying. This was Gastly's first real Pokémon battle, and he handled it like a pro. We were ready to call it a day and return home. As we approached the end of the path, we saw a silhouette of a buff human. The silhouette turned around, and it was no buff man. It was a Machoke. Now, Gastly did beat Caterpie before, but that was a base Pokemon, and Machoke is an evolution of a Machop. As we tried to escape, the Machoke used Brick Break on Gastly. It wasn't looking good. Gastly barely dodged the attack, but now Machoke has him pinned in a corner. Machoke started bulking up, preparing for its next hit. But just as he's about to land a hit, Gastly sinks down into his own shadow, making Machoke confused as he walks around looking for him. The Machoke, now confused, turns around, but when he sees what's behind him, he starts to shake from fear. Gastly evolved. He's no longer a purple orb with smoke flowing out of it. It's now got hands and a bigger tongue. He's really starting to look like a menace. Haunter. With a sinister laugh, he uses Shadow Claw on Machoke, taking it down in one swipe. A critical hit. Haunter smiled at me as if to say, "Did you see what I did?" He had a big grin on his face, and I couldn't help but be proud of him. We returned home to get some rest, but first I'll need to readjust his tank as it's too small for Haunter. While he took a nap on the couch, I built him a massive outdoor living space in the backyard. I added a stone fence, a blackwater pool where he can chill the air to create his favorite thick fog, a massive upgrade from his old well. This is where he meditates to sharpen his dark energy. I also added a scarecrow for him to practice Shadow Claws. While I was finishing the work on his new space, he woke up and chose violence. He scared me by hiding in the fridge. It almost threw me to the ground. After evolving, he apparently hit the teenager phase. He's even less obedient. He'll go out on his own, scaring people on the street for fun. One time he hid in the mailbox and used Confuse Ray on the postman. He loved pulling pranks on people and seeing their scared faces. It's like he gets energy from it. The peak chaos moment happened when he decided to steal my car and drive it into the city. People were scared seeing a car with what they thought was no driver, but really it was just Haunter hiding. He parked in front of a Walmart and decided to go scare customers inside. He got kicked out after the staff saw him trying to manipulate the TVs in the electronics aisle. I had to take an Uber to the Walmart to pick him up. Let's just say Haunter sees me more as a roommate rather than a trainer. It was time to see if Haunter has the potential to be a battle Pokemon. I decided that some training is in order, so I set up the training dummy outside for Haunter to practice. Go Haunter, use Shadow Claw! But Haunter just licked the dummy, ignoring my instructions. Maybe we'll try some other time. Time for some rest now. I went to bed and hoped that Haunter won't have another night of scaring me for fun. In the middle of the night, I heard some noises in the kitchen. Haunter was on a midnight snack run. He was looking through the fridge, and just as he closed the door, he saw a wild Ekans that must have sneaked in the house through the back door. The Ekans tried to lunge at Haunter, but he uses an attack I haven't seen before, Phantom Force. For a second, Haunter disappeared from view, causing the Ekans to move around frantically. Just as it turns to the door to try and escape, Haunter rises up from the ground and hits the Ekans with a shadow ball that sends it flying out of the house. Haunter looks at me, winks, and returns to his living space. I wasn't expecting Haunter to handle things so well. I feel really proud of him. Now it's bedtime. I'll see you in the morning. I don't even need an alarm clock anymore. Haunter will wake me up every morning without fail. He'll either scare me by coming in my dreams and waking me up, or he'll have one of his early morning practice sessions where he'll move items around the house, causing a lot of noise. He really thought he was the biggest and baddest prankster and that nobody could touch him, but all that was about to change. We spent nights hiking the peaks, but he eventually woke up the wrong boss, Steelix, a literal giant snake made of boulders and iron. Haunter tried to phase away, but Steelix used Rock Slide, trapping him at the edge of a cliff. Haunter was exhausted, his gaseous body flickering out. Steelix landed a massive tail slam that knocked him clean off the ledge. Haunter realized this was not going to plan. He tried to run away, but Steelix was locked in. He was not about to let this go. Haunter tried to use Dark Pulse, but he missed. This was it. One more move and Haunter was finished. Steelix hit the ground with an earthquake-inducing force. The ground shakes, dust rises, then settles. Steelix raises its tail, and to its surprise, Haunter is nowhere to be seen. Steelix looked up at the edge of the mountain as a shadow appeared on top of it. There he was, eyes wider than ever, the most evil smile you could have ever seen. Gengar. Haunter has reached its final stage. Gengar used Ominous Wind, sending boulders flying into Steelix, covering it completely, burying it in the process. When the dust cleared, the mountain giant had fallen, and Gengar was standing over him, laughing his head off. Gengar looked even more menacing than Haunter did, but surprisingly, he has developed a respectful relationship with me. He still tries to scare me by hiding in the fridge, but now I scare him back. I jumped at him with a Gengar mask and he turned transparent from the shock. We spent the next 10 minutes laughing our heads off. We really built a bond through living together and going through tough battles together. He's still a handful at times, not to mention the room he's in is now permanently at about -15 degrees Celsius. But he's still the best ghost a man could ask for, and I wouldn't trade him for anything.